Welcome back. This is my solution to Challenge 3 or Chapter 3, Beverages. If you created your code in Data of Chapter 13, then you could add my code to Data of Chapter 3 folder. The code is in the link provided. Alright, a quick recap on the objective, basically 2 drop-downs, one for category and one for subcategory, and a list of products. Also, an initial loading with a delay. Okay, let's jump into the code. We first declare state for beverages array, categories array, types array. We need a variable for the selected category and type and the items within the array. For the effect, we need a boolean to ensure we only load the data once, and we have a status message for that. Next, functions. The load function is very similar to what we used in the last challenge, using object.keys to extract the categories. I added a 2-second timer to simulate a delay in fetching the data. We will run that in the effect. Next, we have functions for the category selection and type selection. Just as we used object keys to return an array of categories by extracting the top-level keys, in function handle category change, we are now selecting the sub-keys, or if you like, the top-level keys of beverages category. In function handle type change, we then populate the items array with the items for the selected category and type. Next, reactives. First, we have the effect. Since onMount is no longer available in SvelteKit 5 runes mode, we use $effect, which runs at component load, i.e. onMount, and whenever a dependency changes. To ensure that the effect only runs once, at component load, we use a boolean, in this case is initial load. This was initially declared true, and within the effect, we change this to false. We only need this loading to happen onMount because these are not changing. Within the effect, we call the load function using then catch syntax to handle success or failure of loading. More specifically, it handles the resolution or rejection of the load beverages data promise. More on promises later. Note that the load function calls the handle category change function for the first category, category 0. This ensures that the type array and the items array are populated. Okay, that's the script. Now the markup. First, we have a category drop-down, and since the $effect would load the data and populate the category array, that is used here to display the categories. We have an onChange event that will call the handle category change function. Note that this binds to selected category. A quick note here on event onChange. This event detects when the selected option changes, which ensures that the call to handle category change is tied to the user selection. Next, we display the type drop-down. Very similar to categories, except it binds to selected type, and of course it calls function handle type change again using the onChange event. Next, we conditionally render the items for the category or type, if there are any. Then we have the status message. Remember, this was initially set to loading, and I added that timer delay so that you would see this message. And in the $effect, this message is changed to show whether data loaded or not. And that wraps up the code for beverages. We already saw this in action in the Challenge 3 video, but by all means go through this again and go through the code so you get a better understanding. I would love to hear how you did in the comments, or send an email with your solution. And now a recap on what you covered in this challenge. These are the key concepts covered. Reactivity: utilize SvelteKit 5's $state and $effect to manage state changes and reactivity within components. State initialization: use $effect like onMount to load data once on component load and to ensure the initial state is set properly to display the first available category, type, and items upon loading the component. Conditional rendering: use #if blocks to control the visibility of drop-downs and lists based on user selections. Event handling: implement event handlers onChange to update the UI dynamically in response to user selections. User experience. Provide seamless user experience by dynamically updating the UI in response to category and type selections. As you can see, we covered quite a bit in this challenge. If you are having a go at the challenges, some aspects will already become very familiar. Progress. The more you try, the more you learn. So, keep trying. Okay, that's a wrap on Challenge 3. Are you thirsty for more? Great, please like and subscribe as that really helps to be able to provide more videos. I'll see you in the next video.